What's the easiest thing to do in theory, but is actually impossible to do in real life? For a homeless man to simply get a job. Either people understand the challenges the homeless face with this, or they don't. There are many, many obstacles, but the first and most obvious is this: you run a business, and a homeless man with tattered clothes, ungroomed hair, and body odor comes in asking for a job. In reality, what do? So you'll give him a call when he doesn't own any kind of phone? It's also a big risk taking on someone homeless. How are you going to be getting to work every day? What if it rains? How are your clothes getting cleaned? Do you have a drug or alcohol problem? Will you be relying on me? Are you desperate enough to steal from me? Not saying that you shouldn't, just that I can understand an employer's hesitance. Having a decent amount of free time. If I analyze my life on paper, I'm all like, geez, I'm usually home by 5:30 or so. That gives me like 7 hours before I need to go to sleep. I can do a lot with 7 hours. Then, somewhere between changing clothes, running to the store, eating dinner, dealing with some random ass bit of paperwork I need done for tomorrow, taking the phone call from my mom, cleaning up, etc. bm it's 11 p.m. Write a novel. J.K. Rowling was a single mom when she wrote Harry Potter. What's your excuse? Even those who concede financial success is a long shot buy into the whole finishing is its own reward bullshit. Nope. It's not like a marathon where you get a sense of accomplishment and a 26.2 bumper sticker. Every novel I've ever finished was an unreadable mess that left me feeling like a failure. Yeah, you get told that J.K. Rowling did it as a single mother. Whenever I tell someone I want to publish novels, they say, do it before you have kids, because apparently your dreams die once you have babies. I hate it so much when people say that shit. I've had kids for 12 years now, and if I gave up on my dreams just because they were born, I'd probably have killed myself. No lie. There's this bizarre mutual deifying process that goes on between mothers and children, so let me just clear the air right now. Your children will not be your gods. You will not be their goddess. You're all just fucking people. Do the damn thing whether you have kids or not. There aren't any fucking rules. Sorry, mom rage happened. Not procrastinate, and just sit down and do what you gotta do. This won't work for everyone, but in order for me to get all my work done efficiently, I have to literally plan a minute-by-minute schedule for my entire day. I only do this during exam time because it's so draining, but it works. I use the iOS app 3030. It lets you create a list of tasks, each with an individual timer, so the entire day is planned out in advance. World peace. Everyone just needs to chill the fuck out and stop being a-holes to each other. Fuck it, he's right. Drops bayonet. Ask a girl out face to face. Yeah, it seems easy enough, but as soon as I start talking, my palms get sweaty. I fumble my words, and I shart a little bit. It's good to just honest in that scenario. Hey, listen, it makes me really nervous to say this, but you're really cute and I like you a lot. Would want to grab coffee with me this weekend? If she says yes, she's liked you this whole time, and you didn't waste that opportunity. If she says no, then she's not that compatible with you at that given moment, and you're better off trying to find another girl who is. I don't know if this fits the bill, certainly not impossible, but the discrepancy between how simple it is to lose weight and how easy it is incredible. I think it's because most people who are overweight are addicted to food. I became 30 pounds overweight in college, but it only took me a few weeks to lose it. Easy peasy. My dad, on the other hand, has been stubborn as fuck and overweight all my life and longer. I don't think there's been a point where he was less than 100 pounds overweight. He's about 200 pounds overweight now at 61 years old. Seriously, the most painful part about it all is him being on a diet roller coaster about all my life. He'd diet most of the year. Then the holidays come around and he's eating pies by the tin among other shit nonstop. He'd get back on some other diet that doesn't work because you need to exercise for most diets to work. The second worst part is my dad losing 10 or 20 pounds and feeling he needs to reward himself with pie, cake, etc. With someone like my dad, you almost need to take their keys to prevent them from going to town and getting shit foods. Even then, he might just walk to the grocery store, which might be good. At least he'd get some exercise. Food addiction is scary. Even if you get it under control, you can't just stop eating. You can live without heroin or cigarettes or alcohol, but not food. Winning an argument, especially with someone who is not informed. You would think that 1. Showing sympathy for their position, to establish common ground. 2. Introducing additional information to the discussion. 3. Explaining how they can check sources for validity. 4. Suggesting that this additional information can allow them to hold a more informed position. But no, all you get is some dick who folds his arms over his chest and says, "I don't believe you." Nothing is more powerful than willful ignorance. Having a good work ethic. On paper it's super easy, you just sit down and do the work. No problem. In reality, it's a lot harder. Maybe this is just me, I've got anxiety problems, but it's almost painful to actually work hard on something that I don't find intrinsically rewarding. And I know I should just suck it up and do it, but it's a lot easier to say that than to actually do it. I've only got so much willpower to give. After you exhaust that day in and day out, I feel like that becomes literally impossible. Those few little droplets at the end of a can. You'd think to just put the can upside down, but that doesn't work somehow. Until you accidentally knock the can over and it's like a full can of Coke spills on your carpet. Transform your life. There are a million books which give you guidelines about how to change your life, but actually doing it is a Herculean task. Planning the changes, making lists, goals, etc. is easy, but when it comes down to following those things, minute after minute, day after day, it turns out to be the most difficult, although not impossible, thing you've attempted to do. For the past couple of years, I've been drifting in this state of unhappiness. Been fired from my last couple jobs, mostly my own fault. Fat. I have a loving and supportive boyfriend, but that's about all I have going for me. I've been working a minimum wage job for the last year and a bit. Good people, I get along with my coworkers. Lousy pay though, and I only enjoy half my job. The other half makes me want to kill someone. I never took post-secondary. I graduated high school, said to myself, all college university does is give you a piece of paper. Not worth the debt. Over the years it became clear I was right. I'm here working jobs alongside people with degrees. Biggest difference? They have crippling student debt, and I only had, hey, credit cards are great and I'm dumb, minor debt. But more recently, I've been wanting to grow. But I didn't know what. For the past couple of years I've looked. I'd see ads for local colleges and browse their programs, never seeing anything that was worth it, to me. Nothing I thought I could love enough to put up with student loan debt. Then I had a customer come in, who worked in a field I was always interested in, but always figured you had to just be mad skilled to get in, or have an industry connection to get an apprenticeship or something. I chatted her up, we got talking about stuff. Once we were friendly in the conversation, I asked her, "How do you get into this job? I've always been interested in it, but didn't know how to get your foot in the door? Take this course from ______ college. It's what I did. It's a great program, that teach you everything, from there it's good. This industry is booming here right now. You should do it if you're interested." It was a goddamned bloody epiphany. I looked up the course. It's my dream. That was a month and a half ago. I got accepted into the college on Thursday. I start school in 3 weeks. I put in my notice at work yesterday. I've applied for student loans. I'm changing my life. I'm 30 years old. Going back to school for the first time in 13 years. You just gotta take it one step at a time. Forgiving someone. You never truly forget what they did. It will always be a thought in your head when you see them or talk about them. Forgiving is letting the pain around a certain thing go. Doesn't mean you have to trust that person ever again, or treat them the same as you did before. It just means treating them with civility, not necessarily trusting them like you did before they needed your forgiveness. Keep the house clean when you live with teenagers or toddlers. Share your thoughts with someone. You know what makes this easy? A lot of alcohol. Stop browsing Reddit before going to bed. In theory, the simplest thing to do, in practice, so hard. Making good choices in life. People act first of all as if there are always an array of choices which include good ones. For many people, life is a sequence of making choices about lesser evils, not good and bad. Second, choices are not made in a vacuum. They are driven by the forces formed by your personal history, biology, and current circumstances. When people give advice about such things, They often do so from a position of never having had to make the same choices as you and not having a similar history and act as if it's simple. For example, they tell alcoholics that they just need to get up each day and choose not to drink. However, most alcoholics don't have effective internal coping mechanisms, and their bodies are reliant on alcohol to varying degrees. They lack the psychological resources to choose otherwise, and many have issues driving them to hide from their problems, or they self-medicate other conditions. The choices you make are often connected to a web of complex factors that can't be solved by making one or two different choices that are objectively better. This is particularly so with addiction, which sets up brain responses such that you don't find other palliative measures as pleasurable. While I'm using addiction as an example, it's not the primary point I'm trying to make. It's not easy to make better choices. If it were, people would have already made them. No one wants to be screwing up again and again or going down an unhealthy path. What seems easy in theory but is impossible in real life? Leave a comment and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this one.